If you're a portrait photographer, you know how difficult it is, how tedious and time-consuming it is to edit your portraits. In October 2022, Adobe introduced in its Lightroom product AI-powered masks. This feature alone is game-changing. It will allow you to more effectively and efficiently edit your portraits. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a Lightroom editing session where I take one of my portrait edits and I apply that AI-powered masking capability to show you how I use it to edit my photos. Hi, I'm Tom Sloan. I'm a portrait and landscape photographer, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to apply those AI-powered masks to your portrait edits. If you stick around to the end of this video, I'll show you how I take the edits I made in one photo and then apply those same changes to other photos in the session. This is a great productivity enhancer. So let's hop into the edit right now. So I'll be using these three photos from a senior portrait session that I conducted recently. And I will start by editing this photo, and then the changes we make in this photo, I'll show how to sync to these other two in the gallery so that we can apply the masks and the AI that we had in this photo applied to the other photos in our gallery. So let's go into this photo, bring it up. I'm going to go into the develop module. Okay, here we are in the develop module, and this is the area we're focused on up here. This bar above the treatment panel and below the histogram. We've got 5 buttons here. The key buttons here that I'm going to be talking about is the edit button here, and the masking button is really the key to our focus today. So I'm going to click on that masking button. Lightroom opened up this panel below, and there was a quick flash of detecting person. So it went off and used its engine, its AI engine, to identify a person in this image. So it's smart enough to know, okay, this looks like it's an individual, and so I'm going to name that person 1. If there were multiple people in the photo, it would name them person 2, 3, 4, etc. So in order to create the masks for the features on the individual, you click on the person, and then Lightroom goes about identifying the individual features associated with that person. So as I'm moving my cursor up and down, it highlights the feature of the face, the body skin, eyebrows, eye sclera, the iris and pupil, or the eyes, lips, teeth, and then hair. So all of these features get called out, and there's a checkbox here next to the ones that you want Lightroom to create a mask for. So I'm going to use the face skin, eye sclera, or the whites of the eyes, iris and pupil, and the teeth. I'm going to ask Lightroom to create masks for each of these features, and click on the Create Mask button. When I do that, Lightroom creates the masks that you asked for. It names them very generically: mask 1, mask 2, 3, and 4. Unfortunately, it would be much better if it were more relevant to what it did. So in other words, if it named this face skin, but you can change that, and I'm going to change each of these. I won't put you through that pain, but if you double click on the name, mask 1, it opens up a dialog box, and you can rename it. So I'm going to rename each of these to something that makes more sense to me. Okay, now that I've renamed each of those masks to something more meaningful, so I've got teeth, eyes, whites, and face, I'm going to go in and edit the local adjustments for this mask for the face. So you click on the mask itself, and then over here it opens up the effects panel, and I'm going to adjust these effects using presets. You could go in and update these individual sliders, and that's what you might want to do, but I would highly recommend you set up presets. And for the purposes of this video, to make it move along faster, I'm going to show you how to do this with a preset, but I'll talk about each of the presets and what they're doing. So for this one, face, we want to soften the skin a little bit. And so I'm going to use this preset here, soften skin. And I'm just going to zoom in so that we can get a better look at what. So we'll go here. And I'll show you what that preset did, and then I'll do an adjustment to it. So right here, if you hover over the mask, it will highlight that. And if you see this eye, this will turn the mask on and off. So right now the mask is on for the adjustment that I did. And in this case, we updated the texture and the clarity. So we brought down the texture to -35 and the clarity to -15. And if I turn that off, that's before the mask is applied, and that's after. So to me, that's a little bit too much. He's got nice skin, so I don't think we have to go that far. So I'm going to move this down, and typically I'll put it in the 30 range, 30 to 40. So I'm going to adjust this slider, and what this is, this will adjust the intensity of the adjustment that you're making down below. So I'm going to bring that down to about 35. That's with the mask off. And that's with the mask on. It's very subtle, very slight. I'm not sure you can see it with your monitor. Now we're going to move on to the eyes. Going to adjust the whites of the eyes, and I have a preset for that as well. Now I'm going to show you these presets. So these presets are, Lightroom comes with a bunch of presets for setting temperature, shadows, whites, etc. And also you can make your own presets, which I've done here, these 4 here that I'm working on. Now I based those off of presets that I purchased from a photographer, Chris Orwig. He's a photographer out of California, and he sells presets. He's a professional photographer. So I've adapted my presets based on his presets and created my own and moved them up in the drop down here. So we're going to adjust these whites. Okay, and so we've seen that's brightened them up a little bit. It opened up the shadows, opening up the highlights up to 63, and brought down the saturation. Now I think that's good. I can show you the before and after. Just turned off the mask, so that's the before. And just turned it back on, and that's the after. So I'm going to show you the eyes, and this one's a little extreme when I show you this preset. So now it's applied that preset, and as you can see, this is a little unnatural. That's a little too much. So I'm going to adjust this intensity over here. You can either use the slider or you can adjust the intensity by just typing in the number off to the right. Now I just want to show you what this is, bumping up the exposure, the contrast, opening up the shadows, increasing the blacks to 10, clarity to 35, and then pushing saturation up to 30 and sharpness to 33 and bringing down some noise. But this is too much, so I'm going to change this to about 35 as well. Okay, so you can see it's brought that down to be more natural, his brown eyes. And I'll show you the before and after. This is the before, his eyes are very dark, and this is the after. And there we go. So the last mask adjustment that we're going to do is to the teeth. So we're going to whiten the teeth, and we've got a preset here that I'm going to apply. Teeth whiten. And now you can see that's really brought up his teeth whitened with the exposure, changed the white balance a little bit, bringing down the temperature and pushing up the tint a little bit. Exposure up to 42.42 stops, clarity down to -24, and saturation down to 33. So I'm going to take this down to about 80. I think it's a little bit too much for this image. So adjusting the intensity right there. Show you the before and after again. It's before. That's after. And if you want to look at all of the changes that I've made here, there's a toggle up here in the top left-hand corner, and it's to turn off and on the mask. So you can toggle that off and on, this toggle. So I'm going to turn these off now. So you can see that's changed, taken it back to what it was originally. And then I'm going to do the after right now. And there's the after. So in order to go back, so I'm done with the masks, and to close down these masks, this panel and this panel to the left, just hit this button right here called Edit. And the panels are all reset here. So I hope you found that useful. If you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to take the changes we made to this and apply it to the other two images in the gallery that we had. So just want to point out if I had to do this without the help of the AI engine identifying the features in the person, it would have taken me a lot longer, because I would have had to been using brushes, the masks, then the brushes, and a radial gradient around the eyes, and it takes a lot longer to do than taking advantage of the tools that Lightroom has introduced. I hope you found this session to be helpful to you. And if so, please hit the like and the subscribe button. And if you want to leave a comment, it would be great to hear from you. So once again, thanks for watching. And as promised, I'm going to show you in this next part of the video how to apply those edits to multiple photos in your session. So let's get right into that now. Okay, so since we finished the edit on our first photo, I'm going to show you how to apply the changes we made in this first photo and apply these changes to the features to these other two photos, these photos to the right. So if you highlight the first photo that you want to sync the settings, what you do is you click on that one, and then you do a control click on the other one. And then what you do is you come down here and click on the sync settings. And when you do this, you're going to see this panel open up. So this is the traditional sync panel, and what you'll see that has been added here, what I do is I do check none, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the masks. And right here you've got the masking, and you can just update the individual ones, or you can update them all. In this case, I'm going to update them all. Now, the reason these are helpful, because you might have other masks in there that are related to the background or whatever that you don't want to apply. And the reason I suggested that you name each of these individual masks, that way you would know, okay, I'm just going to be updating the face. So once you click on that, choose the features that you want to update. All you do is you click on the synchronize, and then Lightroom will go do its magic and apply those changes to each of the images. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so Lightroom did its magic, and you can see these images right now. It may not be clear to you, but I can see the difference. I'm going to go into these just so that I can show you what Lightroom did. Click on this, and we'll go into the Develop module. So we're in the Develop module now, and you can see that it's created those 4 masks appropriately aligned for the photo, for the face. And although, so I'm going to click this off and on. I'm going to click it off. So that's the before image, before those masks were applied. That's the after. So if you can imagine, if you had dozens of photos that you needed to edit, this is an incredibly powerful tool in terms of productivity. So I want to thank you for watching, and hope to see you again soon.